Masechet Menachot, page 18. We are 7 lines from the top of the page. Obviously, it's very hard for us to comprehend the depth, the devotion of the sages, the great Tanaim, the rabbis that lived about 1900 years ago, and how far they really devoted their life not only to understand and learn Torah, but to distribute Torah to the world. We will start our discussion today with one of the luminary rabbis that went out of his way, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, to hear and to learn, sometimes in a long distance, something new he never learned before, or question that he struggled. And because the Torah is the truth, blueprint of life and total honest answer, sometimes to get a clear answer it takes you a life walk and traveling long distance to get the proper and the correct answer. Heve golel imkom Torah. So here we start with a statement based on the discussion that caused a great struggle to our early sages to understand. What is all about? It was a situation that Kohen, he is basically have this offering. But while he's in the process of ritual, slaughtering the offering, he have in his mind that part of the remainder of the offering will be left for the following day. So far, we learned yesterday and day before yesterday that that's invalid. But the question is how far and what happened in the different situations, because we learned yesterday this disputation between Rabbi Eliezer and the sages. והסבר רבי יהודה להניח מדמו למחר דברי הכל פסול? Is that true that Rabbi Yehuda hold that if one's intention is to leave some of the offering, the blood offering, the reminder for the following day, meaning that everyone hold that the offering is not valid? Vehatanya, here is a braita. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Nasi said, כשהלכתי למצות מידותיי, when I went out to למצות מידותיי, it's literally meaning when I went to Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua to clarify my knowledge. It's Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua. So here is a beautiful Rashi. Rashi, and you see more on that in Mishnah and Beitzah 29 and more. Rashi said, here is Rashi, 5 lines from the top of the page. He said, Leidam mitzui talmudi velishol sfekotai. Imagine, this is a huge, tremendous, erudite scholar, rabbi. He traveled long distance. Those days wasn't cars. It's a long distance. To do what? To know and clarification over something that is a safek, is not clear. So I went to this great scholar, whose name is Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua, and I want to ask him this question. Now, the way that the rabbi said that the honesty was in such a level that he used to have a weight measurement. So they brought to him and asked him question about how you treated, sometimes it's not 100% clear, or how you treated questions involved with monetary issues with other people. ואמרי לה למצות מידותיו של רבי אלעזר בן שמוע. The other option is that I want to go and understand the midotav, the wisdom, the understanding of him. So Tosfot, Rashi, and many others have a different view. Rashi said, ללמד ולמצות מה שרבי אלעזר חכם ממני. He admitted in his high level of humbleness that this great Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua has highest level of depth and understanding, and therefore he wants to hear what he have to say. So Rabbi Yehuda Nasi continued and said, share the story, and he said, Matzati יוסף הבבלי יושב לפניו, והיה חביב לו ביותר עד לאחד. And he was especially dear to him until one. So Rashi offers two explanations for the phrase until one. First explanation, the statement means that Yosef, the Babylonian, was especially dear to Rabbi Lazar, and the two were engaged in learning together until they reached one halacha. The second explanation, Rashi said, that it's stating in every ruling that Rabbi Lazar taught was especially dear to Yosef, the Babylonian, until they began discussion the halacha that he did not immediately accept, as we going to describe in the story. So in contrast to Rashi, we explain that ad le'achat means until, ad one achat. Megillat Starim in Tosfot explains that the terms mean very much, and therefore the Gemara is stating that Yosef, the Babylonian, was very dear to Rabbi Lazar. He also suggests, while nothing, that this is not straightforward meaning, and that ad le'achat means to a soul, as the soul is called a unit. I'm reading from the great Rabbi Steinsal's translation. Obviously there is more to discuss, but back to the subject. ואמר לו, יוסף הבבלי said to Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi, השוחט את הזבח. If someone slaughtered the offering, the korban, in order להניח מדמו למחר, to leave the shiraim, the leftover, for the following day. Mahu, what's the halacha? אמר לו, Rabbi Lazar responded and said, the offering kasher is fit. So he asked him, there's a few versions, if it was the same day or the following day, but anyway, ערבית, אמר לו kasher, שחרית, אמר לו kasher, צהריים, אמר לו kasher. So he asked the question, האם מחשבה כזאת בשעת שחיטת קורבן, this type of intention at the time of the offering is in order to leave it for the following day, is that posel or not? So he said, במנחה, אמר לו כשר אלא שרבי אליעזר פוסל. Which means after, either you call it the following day or in the circle of a day, but anyway, the mincha, he said, this is like the fourth time, it's okay. However, Rabbi Eliezer posel. So, Tzon Kodashim said that shacharit, tzorai, mincha, arbit. It's different version if it's the same day, the following, but the key is, after the fourth time, he said that Rabbi Eliezer hold that it's not valid. Tzahavu panav shel Yosef HaBabli. When Yosef HaBabli heard that, he was overwhelmingly full of light, full of energy, very happy. אמר לו יוסף, כמדומני שלא כיוונו שמותינו עד עתה. Only now you're happy? What happened when all the time you asked me those questions? At least three times. אמר לו, hen, it is true that that's what Shtamkobet said, that was my intent to get to that. What do you mean? Rabbi hen, it is what I meant. אלא שרבי יהודה פסול שנה לי. I heard from Rabbi Yehuda that this offering is not valid in this situation. וחזרתי על כל תלמידיו. I traveled to the entire group of survivor students of Rabbi Yehuda, tried to get a clear answer and a source for that, what I remember I've heard. וביקשתי לי חבר ולא מצאתי. I was searching for someone who remember that ruling, that shmu'ah, and could. So I was thinking, maybe I have some Alzheimer, maybe I'm forgetting things, maybe I misconstrue. עכשיו ששנית לי, now you are great, Rabbi Eliezer ben Shammua, taught me that even you hold that it's kasher, but there is a Rabbi Eliezer that said that it's pasul, החזרת לי אבידתי. You are like, in a way, obviously it's literal, but he said, you have returned to me that which I had lost. It's like the highest level of happiness is to get the refreshment of the Torah. So there's a beautiful Chazon Ish in Emunah v'Bitachon, Perek Gimel, that he said that that's one of the sources that what the meaning of the pasuk in Tehillim that said Ma ahavti Toratecha, the love of Torah in the highest level is the Chovat Halvavot, Rabbeinu Bachya ibn Pakuda mentioned, and also you see it also in many other rabbinic writing, is to reach the point of refreshment and depth of understanding of divrei Torah, that kechadashim beficha, that you see it as like, as a Rabbi Chazdai ben Kashkash expand on that, how the greatest joy possible is to get the source into the bottom. Anyway, it's like the rabbinic writing that said that before a person born to learn the whole Torah, you're familiar with that midrash. So it's always like a rejuvenation, some type of regression, that person recall what he heard originally. Anyway, it's like returning for a lost item. זלגו עיניו דמעות, different version של רבי אלעזר בן שמוע, that he have tears in his eyes upon hearing that. אמר אשריכם תלמידי חכמים, praiseworthy, happy are you Torah scholars, שדברי תורה חביבין עליכם ביותר, that you are so dear in love of study Torah. קרא עליו המקרא הזה, he said, he appointed to the student a pasuk in Tehillim that have the Hebrew letters, Kuf Yud Tet, 119. They said, מה אהבתי תורתך כל היום משיחתי, how I love you Torah, it is my depth of meditation on a daily basis. So the Ben Yoyada expand on that, the mystical meaning of the pasuk. But anyway, he added and he said, Ha mipnei שרבי יהודה בנו של רבי אלי, ורבי אלי בנו תלמידו של רבי אליעזר. That's what the Gemara said in Sukkah 27, that he went to, in the holidays, to להקביל פני רבו. So he said, לפיכך שנה לך משנת רבי אליעזר. So therefore, Rabbi Yehuda taught you the Mishnah of Rabbi Eliezer that the offering is unfit. That means that chaviva alav, but is a dat yachid. It means that that's individual. So meaning the halacha is that the korban kasher. I did not want to mention to you someone who opposed that, since it's not accepted by the final halacha. But since you asked several times, so now we know on the fourth time that there is view that rejected, that said that it's not. So the Gemara explains its objection. If you think that Rabbi Yehuda taught that when you have the intention, person have intention to leave the blood of the offering, לא בלל הכל פסול התניה, לא דברי הכל, so דברי הכל פסול התניה, meaning that they all agree that the offering is unfit. Why did Yosef Habavli mean when he said that Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua, מהי החזרת לי אבדתי, that he returned the lost? אי פלוגתא כאמר לי. He is like Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua said to him that only that whether the offering is rendered unfit is subject to a dispute. So אלא מאי כשר ורבי אליעזר פוסל, התניי, יחי מאי המפני ענן נמי פלוגתא כמה מתנינן, אלא לעולם דברי הכל פסול התניי. Everyone agreed that Rabbi Yehuda taught to Yosef the Babylon that the offering is unfit. ומאי חזרת לי אבדתי, what he meant by saying that you return my lost, דהדר למיהה שום פסלות בעולם, which means that Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua had in any event returned to him that there is some view in the world concerning the unfitness of the offering if one's intention was to leave over the blood until the next day. Now, there is a book called Birkat HaZevach, as well as a Perush, the attribute to the Rashba, that explain what exactly the meaning of that maskana. But Let's continue the Mishnah. The Mishnah speaks about certain part of Avodat HaMincha that it's not me'akev. Lo yatzak, if he did not pour. Lo valal, or he did not mix. Lo fatat, or he did not break it into pieces. Lo malach, or he did not salt. Lo henif, or he did not wave. Or lo higish, he did not bring it near. Or sheptatan pitim merubot, or if he broke them into large pieces. Velo meshachan ksherot, or if he did not anoint them. Some said kshera or ksherot, that they are valid. So, one type of oven baked mincha is that of rakikin, which is the wafer. So these were baked and then smeared with oil afterward. So this procedure known as meshicha, which is the anointing, replaces the second application of oil common to most other type of menachot. Our Mishnah teaches that if the oil was not applied to the mincha after its baking, it is nevertheless valid. So the Gemara asks a question. Mai lo yatzak. What exactly you meant to say when you have the term did not pour the oil unto the meal offering? The meal offering is fit. Ileima, if you tell me, lo yatzak lal, ikuva ktiv ba. It's indispensable. Rather, the Mishnah must be referring to a case, ela lo yatzak kohen elazar. This is not kohen. Yachel lo balal name, lo balal kohen elazar. So the same ways, it's not priest did it, so it's fit. Ha lo balal klal psula. So it means that if he did not mix the oil into the meal offering at all, the meal offering is unfit. So that's basically the Rambam in Chod Beit HaMikdash, chapter 9, that said if the one who poured oil unto a meal offering was unfit for performing the sacrificial rite, which is a non-Kohen, the meal offering is fit. That's the halacha the Rambam said in regard to mixing the oil, breaking the loaves, or adding salt as only the stages of the removal of a handful does the service require Kohanim alone. You see more in the Rambam, Hilchot Psulei HaMukdashim, chapter 11. Page 18b, והתנן 60 נבללים, 61 אין נבללים. That's a Mishnah on page 103b. The Mishnah is there dealing with the person who commit himself to bring a meal offering. Now the thing is, there is exact measure with this. The commitment is of 61/10 of a far of flour. So he needs to bring a meal offering of 60/10 of a far in one vessel, and meal offering of 1/10 of a far in a second vessel. Why? Because we learned that 60/10 of a far of flour can be properly mixed with a log of oil, but 61/10 cannot properly mix with a log of oil. So that's shiur kavua, that's the exact measure. Vehavina ba, and we derive from that ki enav livnali mai have. So what do you do if the 61/10 of a far do not mix with one log of oil? So the Gemara said, "Vatnan lo balal ksheira." So we learn that in the Mishnah that even that's actually by force of circumstance, if there is a mitzvah to mix the oil with the meal offering, if he did not mix the oil, the meal offering it's still, how do you say, b'diavad, in hindsight, it's okay. But this is something we learn many times. Rabbi Zera said, any measure of flour that is suitable for mixing with oil meal offering, the lack of mixing does not invalidate the meal offering. But there is no suitable for mixing with oil in the meal offering, the lack of mixing invalidates the meal offering. So here you see this type of back and forth that we derive that when the Mishnah here says that the oil was not mixed into a meal offering, it means that it was not mixed at all. So what you see here, the Mishnah statement that the meal offering is fit even if the oil was not poor should be understood as referring to a case where the oil was never poor, and not, as the Gemara infer, as referring to a case where a non-Kohen poured it. So the Gemara asks, Midei iria hakedeita ve'akedeita. So the Gemara refutes this proof and said, you cannot compare the two cases because this is different than the other. Lo yatzak kohen elazar, lo balal klal. So the Mishnah said, lo yatzak, did not pour the oil in the meal offering. It means that it was non-Kohen that poured it. And when he said, if one did not mix the oil into a meal offering, it means that he did not mix the oil at all. The Mishnah said, O sheptatan pitim merubot, kshera. Or if it happened that the Kohen broke the meal offering that require breaking into pieces, then appropriate the meal offering is fit. So the Gemara asks, Hashta lo patat klal kshera, pitim merubot mibaya? What do you tell me? That if you don't mix is okay by force of circumstances. Now you tell me that if it's pitim merubot, greatest pieces, then appropriate meal offering is fit. So my pitin berubot sheriba b'ptitin. It means that he increase the amount of meal offering pieces by breaking the loaves into many pieces that were each smaller than the kezai, the olive bark. V'iba itema, or another option to say, leolam pitin merubot mamash. It's really one. Large pieces. They have the status of loaves. Over there, אבל האחד דלאו תורת חלות עיקר, ולאו תורת פתיתין עיקר. כמשמע, so you derive from that it's necessary for the Mishnah to derive this הלכה clearly. למה מתניתין לא כרבי שמעון? לתנא רבי שמעון אומר, כל כהן שאינו מודה בעבודה, any Kohen that is not admit to the validity of the sacrificial rite, אין לו חלק בקינה, is no portion in the gift of the priesthood. שנאמר המקריב בדם השלמים ואת חלב מבני אהרון, לא תהיה שוקה מלמנה. So what we derive for that, מודה בעבודה, יש לו חלק בכהונה. שאינו מודה בעבודה, if he is not admit to the validity of the sacrificial rite, so אין לו חלק בקינה, is not a portion of the Kohen's gift. ואין לי אלא זו בלבד. מניין לרבות 15 עבודות, for drive the 15 sacrificial rite performed by the Kohanim. Here's the list, okay? So היציקות והבלילות והפתיתות והמליחות והתנופות וההגשות והקמיצות וההקטרות והמליקות והקבלות וההזעות והשקעצותיו ועריפת עגלה וטהרת מצורע ונשיאות כפיים בין בפנים בין מבחוץ. So you see on your Gemara the translation, but the idea is where is the inside the Beit HaMikdash, the temple, or outside. So from where we derive the halacha that also includes one who does not admit to the validity of this right. Talmud lomar mibnei Aharon. We derive from the pasuk מבני המקריב מבני אהרון לא תהיה שוקה מלמנה. עבודה המסורה לבני אהרון, כל כהן שאינו מודה בה אין לו חלק בכהונה. So what do you see here? Since the pouring of the oil is included in the list of the sacrificial rite that they entrusted it to the Kohanim, so according to Rabbi Shimon, the offering should not be fit if this service was performed by a zar, by a non-Kohen. Because one of them is yetzikot. Marav Nachman Lokashia. It's not a contradiction. It's two different type of menachot. Kan, when Rabbi Shimon mentioned yetzika among the rites that belong to the Kohanim, beminchat Kohanim, so it's the meal offering of the priest. Kan, beminchat Yisrael, then the Mishnah allowed by a non-Kohen. The differentiation between the minchat Yisrael, the bat kmitzah, mikmitzah ba'elach mitzvat keuna. לימד על זר והביא על בני אהרון הכהנים וקמץ משם, לימד על יציקה ובלילה, שקשרה בזר. מנחת כהנים דלאו בת מצאי, מעיקרה בעיה כהונה. אמר לרב, הרב עשתו רב נחמן, מכדי מנחת כהנים מאיך היתרה בליציקה, ממנחת ישראל מהתם כשרה בזר, הפך הנם כשרה בזר. איקדה אמר רב נחמן לא קשיא, כאן נקמצות, כאן שאין נקמצות. אמר לרבה, מכדי שאין נקמצות מאיך היתרה בליציקה, מנקמצות כנקמצות. מה התם כשרה בזר, הפך הנם כשרה בזר, אלא מחברת המתניתין, דלא כרבי שמעון. So as you see, when they're bringing Mincha to Beit HaMikdash, first of all you have shemen, and then you have the kemach solet, and then you have shemen, and then the balelu, mix it, and then you have the shemen, they have the oil the third time. So the question is only Kohen can do Yetzikat shemen? Or there's basically two views. Rabbi Shimon said that it's psula bezar. Rabbanan said that mincha ksheira. So we continue Mitzvah Shem tomorrow with the Tama de Rabbanan.